Welcome, everyone, to the Better Love Movement podcast, where you will finally learn how to intentionally do dating and relationships right. My name is Anita Stoudemire, and I'm a licensed professional therapist and your personal love mentor. I've worked with thousands of singles and couples, giving them the skills needed to attract and keep the amazing love they desire. It's my heart's work to help people to get the skills needed to not only become the very best versions of themselves, but to help them grow and evolve emotionally and relationally. You can absolutely have the romantic relationship of your dreams. Come and let me show you how. Hey everybody, it's Anita with Better Love Movement, and I am back this week with episode number 48. It is entitled, Beware the Halo Effect in Dating. And so the halo effect is something that it's been around for a minute. It is something, it's a term that was coined by Edward Thorndike in the 1920s, and it was basically about a paper that he did a study and wrote a paper on it, and it was about commanding officers in the military evaluating a variety of qualities in their soldiers. And it talks about when they found certain characteristics in their soldiers, like leadership or physical appearance or intelligence or loyalty and dependability, that when they rated just one of these characteristics very high, they tended to rate these other characteristics very high as well. So it's like these soldiers, if they had one really great quality, right, that we then take that one really great quality and we blow it up. And in our minds, it's like everything about them must be good because there's this one thing about them that's good. So this has been around for a minute. The halo effect is what we know as a cognitive bias. And that's basically where our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about his or her character. So we take like one thing and we apply that to them as people as a whole. And we tend to be blinded by maybe the negative characteristics or the negative traits that they have because they have this one really great trait. Okay, so how does this apply in dating? How does this apply to us ladies in dating? And you know it does. You know we're guilty of it. We will see a man that's attractive, right? And that's it. For some of us, that's all we need. He's fine. And we assume that everything else about him is going to be great. And to some extent, we may put on blinders even to some of his not so great qualities or characteristics. And we need to check ourselves in this area. Like we need to know if that's one of the ways in which we are weak. We need to have assistance. Okay, so this is when I tell a lot of women that I'm working with, okay, so I'm going to need you to have assistance in this because you are not good at, you're not good at discerning or kind of determining with balance who this person is. You're not good at it. So I want you to utilize your friends, and these are trusted friends, trusted confidants, your family. Utilize other people if you're guilty of this. Because this thing called the halo effect, I mean, I've fallen prey to it. Other people I know have fallen prey to it. But it's basically, we take one or two positive qualities about a person and we apply that to them overall. And it is hard for us to see some very negative qualities about them. And I've known some men to do this. So I'm not even just getting on my ladies, even though I know we're guilty of it. We will meet a man who's good looking. We will meet a man who maybe he is really nice or really intelligent, and we will apply that to he's great, right? Overall, he's great, he's perfect, he can do no wrong. And we know that's not true. People have great qualities, great characteristics, but then they have some not so great characteristics, not so great qualities. And we really need to be balanced in all things in this area, because sometimes the bad can outweigh the good. I had a situation recently where that was the case. I was torn. About this person, because I was like, man, he's such a nice guy, and he's so caretaking and chivalrous, and those are all great qualities. But then I could not ignore that there were these other very negative qualities that were like, ugh, what a turnoff. This is such a turnoff. And eventually they outweighed the good qualities. There was just too much. There's too much going on in the negative area, too much in the negative column, and it just outweighed the good column. But honestly, we got to do this work sooner. I should have done this work sooner. I'm encouraging you to do this work sooner. But I've heard this story from men where they have said one or two things that they liked about a woman. And these were things that they saw in her early on. Oh, she's so good with kids. She was so good with her sister's kids, and I just love that. She's so, motherly and maternal. And yeah, she's just so great with kids. Or she's so loving and sweet with animals. And I don't know, that just did it for me. I mean, she's attractive. And then I saw how good she was with her sister's kids, her nieces and nephews. And that just did it for me. But what you did not look deeper into was that she had a problem with lying, that she had a problem with maybe how she managed her money, that she had a problem with her integrity, that she had a problem with remaining faithful, that she had a problem with fill in the blank, right? It could have been anything on the negative column. And so you cannot take those one or two traits that you believe to be good and positive and make them so imbalanced with the things that are not great. Like, you have to weigh all of that together. And at some point, the good should outweigh the bad. So let's say the one or two traits that you are focused on, they do outweigh the negative traits that, you may eventually come to see, but you're like, you know what? Yeah, it's not that serious. There's one or two things that I don't like that's annoying to me, but these other qualities really outweigh the negative qualities. That's fine. That may come to be. But for a lot of us, this halo effect bites us in the tail, because usually those one or two qualities that we like, that are good and positive, they blind us to all of the not so great qualities. And there are usually many. So if there's one or two that you like, there's probably 8 or 10 that you don't like. And then there may be one or two out of that 8 or 10 that are horrific, that you would be wise not to ignore. So be mindful of this. Like, really be mindful of how maybe either your initial impression of a person, how that might affect you long term in you getting to know someone. And if you find yourself excusing bad behavior, overlooking mistakes, justifying wrongdoings, this is something that you're going to have to check in with a trusted friend, a family member, or a confidant. Like, you know what? Maybe I'm not seeing something here. I'm going to, bring this person around. I want you to tell me what you think. Give me your honest opinion. Make it someone that you actually value their opinion, that you respect their opinion, but go outside of yourself and let somebody else tell you, yeah, there might be some things there you want to pay attention to. Or they could say, yeah, that might be a little annoying, but, it's not that serious. It's not that bad. But if you struggle with this, and I mean, sometimes I still can find myself struggling with this. I just take a step back and I say, okay, let me see everything that's here. Let me write some things down. Let me tune into my gut. What does my gut tell me about this? And then I can make a better call. I can make a better decision on if I want to continue to engage with this person. But so many of us fall prey to this. We will take one or two things, and let me just be 100% real. In our society today, with the whole Instagram, social media, especially on Instagram, right? We have a whole bevy of women on Instagram that are, quote, Instagram models, right? And yes, many of them are beautiful. They are attractive. They have beautiful bodies, beautiful hair, beautiful faces. We don't know them. We don't know anything about them. But yet, we fall prey to, well, they're attractive. They must have other amazing qualities. They must be good people. They must be faithful. They must be loyal. They must be good cooks or good mothers or whatever. But we don't know that. All we see is what we see. They are attractive. But a lot of us here in this country, we put a lot of weight on that. We put a lot of weight on how attractive a person is, what their body looks like, the physicalness of it. And we then let that bleed over into, oh, they're nice, they're kind, they're a good person, they have integrity, they have morals. And the truth is, we don't know that. We don't know that. And we know some of us are guilty of this. Let's twist it around. Let's flip this coin. And we know when we see a person who is unattractive, who is dressed slovenly, who is unshaven, or whose hair is messed up, or, whatever. We make assumptions about that person on the negative side. Oh my God, he must be a thief. He must be this. He must be that. He must be lazy. He must be, right? We do the same thing. But we have to have balance in this. We have to have balance in all things. We have to be willing to weigh the good and the not so good. We've got to be open to seeing everything and then being able to make a better decision about that person. Now, I'm a big believer in trusting your gut. So sometimes I have met people and energetically, I don't care how good they look, energetically, my gut was like, no, don't do it, And that told me a lot. I trust my gut. I trust my instincts. And I encourage women to really tune into that part of you that it knows, that inner knowing, that energy. You kind of know some things before you know some things. And a lot of you dismiss it. A lot of you get caught up in the way a man looks, what he has, what he's talking about. But just be in his space energetically. And that might tell you something about him before you even truly get to know him. So I think energetically, we have a space, we have a thing that we do, and pay attention to that. Like really, really, really pay attention to that, okay? Because it's not even just about physically what that person looks like. It's about energetically what they're bringing to the table. And in love, energy doesn't lie. Like that's the one place where that person's energy is going to precede them. So it's just like when women tell a man, the man can sense that she's angry or can sense that she's upset with him. And she's like, I'm fine. But your energy is sending off the signals that I'm angry, I am pissed off, you've upset me. And again, men are clueless, but they're not stupid. It's the same where a lot of men have told me, women walk around and they have the resting bee face on, or they're sending out signals that they don't want to be bothered. And then the women are saying, how come the men never approach me? How come I see men looking at me? How come they never come up to me? Because energetically, you all may not be a match. So trust your gut, work on you from the inside out so that your energy matches what you want. That's just like me saying one thing that I want and then acting in a way that's opposite of that. No, both of those things have to be aligned. So just be mindful of this halo effect. We've all fallen prey to it. We all have. We've all seen an attractive looking person and we've made assumptions about them. We've made assumptions. And I'm going to be real with you. A lot of these women on Instagram with the Instagram models and all of that, and, all the pictures that they post and everything, we don't know them. They could be broke. They could not have any money, or they could be, really not great people that use people for money, that steal from people. They could be mean people, angry people, unfaithful people, disloyal people. We don't know that, but we're just taking what we see and we're implying from that, oh, she's so sweet. Look at her. She's so nice. She's this, she's that. We really don't know. We really don't know. So I am always in this mind of thinking. So that's how my ego gets checked every day. When I meet people, I know, that I don't know their story. I don't know what's really here before me. I take everyone at face value. For the most part, I'm trusting until you're giving me a reason not to trust you. But I also trust my gut. I have a discernment about myself when it comes to people. And energetically, sometimes I can feel people out. Energetically, sometimes I can sense this person's not cool. There's something about this person that I don't like. And even though I don't have anything concrete to nail it to, and I'm never mean to the person or nasty to the person, but I steer clear of the person because energetically I sense there's something there that just isn't quite right. So be mindful of this when you're out dating, because usually you're going to leave that date and you're going to come away with one or two things that you like about the person. But also try to focus on, was there anything there that's questionable? Is there anything there that I didn't like? And that's okay. We got to have those two columns. These are the traits I like. These are the good and positive traits. And these are the things, not so much. And we just got to be balanced in that. But trust your gut. Always trust your gut. It's going to lead you where you need to go. Okay? So thank you so much for being here for today's episode. I want to encourage you to check out the website, www.betterlovemovement.com. The ebook is on there, 30 Days to Mastering Your Feminine Power. And if you don't like reading, I want you to check out the audiobook, 30 Days to Mastering Your Feminine Power. And if you don't want to listen, you want to look online at a course, head on over to the Udemy platform, udemy.com, 30 Days to Mastering Your Feminine Power. You can take the course online and you're going to get everything you need to become the most feminine, magnetically attractive woman out there. And more importantly, you're going to feel really great about yourself. Your self-esteem is going to shoot through the roof. You're going to feel confident. You're going to feel calm and loving, and your self-care. Oh, you're just going to feel so great after you take this course. So head on over to udemy.com, take the course, put in the coupon code BETTERLOVE, the number 5. So BETTERLOVE5 to get $5 off. And be sure and leave me a review, rate this podcast, share this episode with someone that you know would benefit from it. And if you have a question, something that you want to have answered on the podcast, please send it to me at info@betterlovemovement.com. Thank you so much for listening today. And as always, stay open to love.